Alright, screw it. For the 50th episode, here's what we're doing. Can't do anything too big, but I'm going to do 5 hours on the horror rave for today. I got other things I should probably do, could probably do, might probably do, little probably do, big probably do. Probably do. But it's a little after 12 now. Q gets home around 6:30, so I'm going to try to get 5 hours done between now and then. Now, if you do the math, that's like close to 6.5 hours, should be no problem. But as I said, I'm not going to count if I take a break to go get a soda from the fridge. I'm not going to count if I go get the mail. I'm not going to count if I take a bathroom break, things like that. So I'm going to try to get a solid 5, and we'll see what happens. And if I don't, maybe I can pick it up after she gets home. And yeah, I'm going for that solid 5. Again, it's like, well, 8 hours in a day should be no problem, but I'm not going for that regular 8 hours. I'm going for, dare I say it, a hardcore 5. Yeah. All right, let's go. It's been about an hour and a half. I'm about to take a short break to get a soda and maybe do a quick house thing just so I move my body a bit. Let me show you what I've done.
Well, the first thing I did was finish up this panel from yesterday, basically populating with people, and I had already drawn Boots, but I moved her a little bit. Also, I realized that this area was way off because it's still a little bit off. Like, I hate to point it out because I'm showing you. The perspective is technically correct, but this is much bigger than it should be. It's showing up almost the same size as the chair, and it should be, like, it's just weird. But it's going to be covered with word balloons. It's kind of in the background. I feel like most people won't notice it, so I'm going to stop. But I did change it because it was all the way down here, and it made it look like it was as tall as a person when it's supposed to be a table that comes up to your waist or so. So I made it less wrong and then left it at that. And then I populated the television and the people back here. Then I went over here and did this entire final bottom panel. Once again, the perspective is a bit off. I feel funny pointing out my mistakes, especially if I'm not necessarily going to correct them. But as I've talked about before, there's a certain amount of mistakes I feel that I could get away with. Even if they're objectively wrong, most people aren't going to notice them, and it's not worth the hours it would take me to correct them. For example, once again, the circular table is definitely not quite in perspective. I'll clean it up and fix it a little bit when I'm going to the inking, but probably not much. And, you know, this rough on top of a thumbnail I already did probably took the bulk of the hour. So it's like, how much time can I spend on it versus how much are people going to notice the imperfections? Hopefully the story will be more engaging. Once again, Bubbles will be covering it up. He's not going to be talking. This is them still talking and him kind of like watching. And then this transitions to the next page where he'll actually be speaking with Boots. So this is, you know, sort of the camera pulling back so that we see him and then whatever. But that was my hour and a half so far.
And now I will have soda. 2 o'clock, back at it again. I unloaded the dishwasher, put dirty dishes in. Then I responded to YouTube comments, emails, got a soda, went to the bathroom. Now I'm back at it. I'm going to start fresh. I finished up page 4 and 5. I'm starting fresh. The roughs on page 6 and 7, which have previously been thumbnailed. Update time. It's 3:15. I'm about 2.5 hours total in. I'm working on page 6 and 7.
Page 6, I just got done doing this panel, so I have 1, 2, 3 panels. It looks weird, like there's a lot of negative space, especially here, but there's going to be dialogue balloons, so I'm trying to leave room for that. And as I'm looking at that, arm looks a little weird, but I'll fix that in the next phase. That's for future Gaz. Moving on to the rest of this page now.
All right, I took another break, which I kind of didn't intend to, but we're going to have a late dinner tonight, and I normally don't eat lunch, but I get, like, cranky if I don't eat dinner. So I had a lunch, which was an unplanned break, and then I foolishly watched a show, which meant that instead of just eating lunch for 5 or 10 minutes, I then spent a half hour watching the show. So failure me, bad me, getting back to it now. Hey again. I always say that like I'm coming back, because for me I'm coming back, but for you it's like, what do you mean you've been here the whole time, just with awkward cuts? Anyway, it's going on 7. It's after 6:30 going on 7. Q got home just recently. Almost perfect timing. I had just like 3 minutes left to go on my 5-hour block, which I succeeded in. It was sort of an awkward, this is kind of what I said, even though I had like a full day, I got 5 solid hours. And I'll show you what I did. I'm like, oh god, that light. Once it, oh, phew. Let me show you what I did.
So I'd finished up page 4 and 5, the little bit I had, and then page 6 I started from the roughs, or the slightly cleaned up thumbnails, I should say. So I got the first 3 panels. This panel took me forever. A lot of backgrounds. Dan's bar is probably the most pain in the butt thing to draw, partially because I haven't really nailed down a lot of the elements, which I should have previously, so I'm sort of improvising as I go, and that's my own fault. I like this panel of her yelling, and I gotta adjust his face a little bit there. He looks a little too simian, too monkey-like, and then him. And then I didn't quite finish this panel. Similarly, I think he's looking a little too sinister here. I have to adjust that a bit. But I gotta finish her up and the background, and then I'll be done for page 6. I wish I could have kind of finished it, but at least, you know, I could see the amount of progress I got done today when I buckled down, sort of.
I say buckle down, sort of, but that's because it was only 5 hours and really should be 8 hours. Again, I go back and forth. What is an 8-hour day? Doesn't matter. And really, comic artists usually don't have an 8-hour day. It's, you know, in my experience, it was more like 10, 12 hours, whatever, when I was, you know, doing it full time. However, I'm happy with what I did today. Accomplished. 50th day, 5 hours, yes. But looking at what I got done, it again highlights how little I have gotten done. I've, you know, slow and steady wins the race, and progress being made. I'm not being too down on myself, but I'm more trying to hype myself up to do more, as much as I can, as soon as I can going forward, because I basically did in a day what would have taken me 10 days previously. You know, this is day 50, so like, you know, from day 30, from day 40 to day 50, I did about as much work as I did today. So I could look at it like, yeah, good, I did good work today, but it's also kind of, you know, like, yeah, I'm going quite slow. And I had been saying to myself, I probably said it in a video, I've said it to other people, like, I want to have the next issue out by like October. It's August, it's the end of August. So we got September, now arguably maybe the end of October. Best case scenario, I've got just over 2 months to meet that deadline that I made up arbitrarily. I don't owe anybody anything, you know, but I still would want to hit it, and it should be easy to finish up. I'm partially done, you know, and so it should be easy to hit that, especially if I have someone else doing the lettering. Well, I say it should be easy, but again, I'm not just penciling or inking. I'm sort of penciling, inking, and then the grays are sort of coloring. It should be possible. It should be very doable. And I still think it can be, but I need to ramp it up. So I'm happy with today. I'm less happy with the past, and hopefully I'll be more happy with the future. So, you know, this sort of Macarena. That's how Macarena goes, right? I actually do forget. It's sort of, no, that's Three Amigos. Anyway, whatever. It's been 50 days. It's been 5 hours. And if there have been 50 days so far in the 100 days of making comics, well, then that means we've got 50 days left. Not even close. Well, today you did get to see me throw out the trash. Exciting! I say buckle. Wow, the light is not great. Whatever, we're not here. You know what? Wait. No.